the polls have closed and the counting of ballots has occurred, we will announce the results of the vote of the amendment on Article 8.
I'm already up.
Article 9. Shall the town vote to raise and appropriate as an operating budget, not including appropriations by special warrant articles and other appropriations voted separately, the amount set forth on the budget posted with the warrant, or is amended by vote of the first session for the purposes set forth therein, totaling $11,055,115. Should this article be defeated, the default budget shall be $11,189,667, which is the same as last year, with certain adjustments required by previous action of the town or by law, or the Board of Selectmen may hold one special meeting in accordance with RSA 675:3, 10, and 16 to take up the issue of a revised operating budget only. Majority vote required. The Selectmen recommend a budget of $11,055,115 by a vote of 3-0. Recommended by the Budget Committee by a vote of 11-1. Is there a motion to move Article 9 for placement on the official ballot as presented?
I move Article 9 as read to be placed on the official ballot.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments on Article 9?
I have a comment if Dick doesn't. Do you have any comments?
I just think the only comment I'd make is the Budget Committee was quite impressed with the effort and work that the Select Board put into this. There were some reductions, but mutually agreed on as we went through the process, so we're satisfied with this budget.
Quick comment and a little advertisement at the beginning. The Selectmen have been working real hard to keep the budget down, not only this past year, for many years. We've eliminated and downgraded many positions, and we've scaled back benefits. But I really wanted to mention one thing is, in case anybody doesn't know it, the Budget Committee can recommend a bottom line number. We concur with the bottom line number, but we get there a different way. And if anybody needs any further explanation, I'll be happy to do that. But
May I?
Yes.
There's one other thing I'd like to add. Most people think that the budget season runs from sometime in September to town vote in March. But for the three of us, and for Scott and for Jeff, who work this budget year-round, it's a year-round 12-month process. We're always trying to find ways to trim fat if there is any, save a penny here, a penny there. So for us, it is a 12-month process. I do appreciate the work that the Budget Committee put into it this year. They found us some cost savings in some areas that we weren't aware of when we started the process in August. But overall, we're happy with the budget. We were able to bring spending down a little bit more this year. We've made some changes in our personnel policy to affect that, as well as some savings in some other areas. But overall, we think it's a good budget that the town can live with. Thank you very much.
Mrs. Eichinger.
Barbara Eichinger, 558 Edgewater Drive. Madam Moderator, I would like to offer an amendment to Article 9 to reduce the budget by 1.5% or $165,826 to $10,889,289. My reasons are as follows. Last year for 2011, we saw the town tax rate increase by 2.9%. 0.4 of that was due to warrant articles that were passed by the voters, not recommended by the
Barbara, before you continue your discussion of the article, we do need a second to that.
Second.
Your name?
Glenn Aldrich.
Glenn Aldridge, thank you. Before you continue, Mrs. Eichinger, also, I'm going to, at this time, declare the polls to be closed and the counting of the ballots on Article 8. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Just to continue, there was a 0.4 increase due to the warrant articles that were not recommended by the selectmen. However, we did have a 1.4% increase in that tax rate due to dropping assessments, and the remainder was due to spending. So my position on this, and the reason I'm offering up this 1.5% decrease, I believe it's a modest decrease, and it's to protect the taxpayers against ever expanding drop in assessments, so to keep the tax rate level so that we don't continue to see our tax rate skyrocket. We are the highest tax rate for towns surrounding Lake Winnipesaukee. Guilford now stands at 18.55. Meredith, our neighbor to the north, with a 12.65. They're a similar sized town in population and in land area. Center Harbor at 10.96, Moultonboro 8.33, Wolfboro 12.20, Alton 13.07, and Tuftonboro 8.71. So you can see at 18.55, we are significantly higher than other waterfront towns surrounding Lake Winnipesaukee. And so this modest decrease, hopefully with some additional work by these selectmen, would help to stabilize or decrease the tax rate. So I will offer this to you in writing, Madam Moderator.
And we are going to request the paper ballot to do that in writing.
All right, we have received an amendment to Article 9, which reads to reduce the budget by 1.5%, or $165,826 to $10,889,289. A paper ballot has been requested. Is there any discussion on the amendment that is now on the floor?
I do have a comment, Madam Moderator.
Mr. Hayes, I recommend.
Oh, that's fine, thank you. Go ahead, Ray.
Ray Mello Andrews, 18 Coach Road. I just would like the taxpayers in Guilford to realize that, for example, in the town of Meredith, if you look in the town of Meredith in the Bay Area, you look at Church Landing, we do not have places like that that have the ability to be taxed. So therefore, their tax rate is going to be lower because they have much greater valued pieces of property with much bigger houses and a lot of industry on the lake that the town of Guilford does not have.
Tim Sullivan, 56 Bedford Avenue. You know, I wasn't afforded much protection from the Board of Assessors from 2006, say, through 2009, but I don't need any protection now from declining property tax evaluations, as I find that my valuations are being lowered, and of course they're not quite low enough to reflect the true value of my home, but at least they're going closer to that point. I just don't see the point of getting protection from fair value assessments.
Mr. Hayes.
I would make one point that the budget as it's presented right now at $11,055,115 is a 6-cent decrease in the tax rate as it stands today.
Any other comments or questions?
Madam Chairman, David Buckman, Ridgewood Avenue. I would ask the question of you, is it possible that we could have a voice vote on this? Is there a way that we could, by a vote or whatever, to have a voice vote in order to expedite this meeting and still come up with a result that reflects the way people are feeling about the issues?
I'm assuming that we have we do have a request for a paper ballot, and that is not subject for discussion. So we will have a secret ballot vote.
Madam Moderator, I would just like to say that to just quote the tax rates around the lake, although important, is not the entire picture. I think you have to compare apples to apples and look at services. And probably to achieve some of those tax rates that were quoted, I would assume would have to require a substantial cut in services.
Any other questions or comments on the amendment?
Just a quick one. I just wanted to mention that they do not have a paid fire department, and the town of Guilford voted on that a number of years ago to have them, and we're very happy to have them, and the fact that they can respond a lot quicker than some other towns. So there's a lot of things, as in what John Beelan was saying, that affect this that are not just numbers.
If I could just, Steve Colport, Chestnut Drive. If I could also add that we are here tonight discussing the town budget, which is a fraction of what your actual tax rate is, as a total of that $18.55.
Any other comments or questions? Are you prepared to vote?
Yes.
All right. We will have a secret ballot. We will proceed as we did previously. And just to clarify, the amendment on Article 9 reads, to reduce the budget by 1.5% or $165,826 to $10,889,289. A yes vote would mean to reduce the budget by 1.5%. Are there any questions? We're ready to vote.
Crop TV.